Hello and welcome. This is Mystery. Thanks for coming and watching. Although there's not many people watching, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just doesn't matter. I really don't give a shit. But anyway, today what this video is going to be about is the petty tyrant and how even if you're like a targeted individual and they're just harassing the fuck out of you, it's how it's going to work out to your advantage and why you're so blessed to have this happening. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I was a targeted individual, and until I figured out what this battle is about and why it's happening, I thought it was a curse, but no, it was actually a blessing. And see, a warrior lives by challenge, so there are no blessings or curses. It's just a challenge. Everything is a challenge. So one of our biggest challenges is to deal with a petty tyrant, and there are 5 attributes of the warrior to deal with a petty tyrant. And see, what you got to realize is the battle is not for the ego, but it's for energy. And the petty tyrant does not realize that. So let's get into it. I've made a couple notes because I have to write this stuff down and then talk about it because it's hard for me to speak when you're talking about stuff that's not really in the physical. So anyway, when we're dealing with a petty tyrant, we are truly blessed. It's an ultimate way of dealing with your self-importance. See, the warrior's battle is fought to lose that self-importance. Self-importance is just a disguise for self-pity. And if you'll see what I mean. Just keep listening. Self-importance is nothing more than self-pity in disguise. So, self-importance is, in the strategic inventory of a warrior, the activity that consumes the greatest amount of energy. So it's consuming a ton of energy when you're dealing with a petty tyrant, the self-importance. It just sucks all your energy out. So you won't have any energy to deal with the unknown. Or, when you're faced with the unknown, it's just going to blast you away. You won't be able to survive it. So that's why we deal with self-importance. And we're going to get into a little bit more why this is so important. And so stay tuned. This is why the warrior's impeccability is the effort to eradicate this self-importance, this self-pity. This is where his impeccability lies. We want to gather that energy so we'll be able to face the unknown someday. And for some of you, it may be enough energy to propel you out of any reversal programs you might have, or even a black hole. There are such things, and it's not really what you think. The reality is not what we think it is. So some of you may be stuck in a black hole and you don't even know about it. So this type of energy can actually propel you out of things like that as well. As for me, that's what kind of happened for me too. I was going down a path that was not good. So I freed up a lot of energy by dealing with petty tyrants and it's my self-importance. See, I had to look at myself really, really hard because I noticed that it's inside me. Everything is. So today is like the days of old because now we have petty tyrants almost everywhere. They're like we call them different names now, like narcissists, sociopaths. Today the petty tyrants have weapons that they did back in like days of Atlantis, where they have mind control. electronic weaponry, voice-to-skull technology, microwave weapons, stuff like that they use on, say, like a targeted individual, and it's extremely. I mean, they can be extremely dangerous individuals. So that's how it was in the days of old, and to be honest, it tempered. Magnificent warriors and sorcerers were tempered out of that, in the days of old, like maybe the conquest of Mexico when Spain came and conquested. There are tyrants everywhere, and so the warriors sprang out. It's the only way you could survive it, is to become a warrior, and so what it is we're just clearing our own distortions. What you're seeing are your actual own distortions. I know it's hard to look at it that way, but in reality, if you looked at my Truths of Awareness video, you'll realize that everything that's coming in, the fibers that come in for the universe, the light that comes in, has to be connected with something that's in the same frequency range as what you're vibrating, you're oscillating at. So if you're, it's matching on the outside what's going on inside, simply put. So what you're seeing is a reflection of yourself. And see, how we deal with the petty tyrant is they're going to trigger you. They are going to cause emotional reactions no matter what, and some of these things are automatic, and so we're going to be able to see what our automatic triggers are, what our automatic beliefs are. We're going to be able to see our beliefs. It's going to just be right in our face. We're going to be able to see everything. That's why they're so important. You cannot temper your spirit in any other way than this. It's actually vital and suggested that you go out and find a petty tyrant and bait them and piss them off, just so you can have, so you can deal with your own self-importance. And what you're dealing with is your own distortions. So I know it's hard to see that, but it's in reality what's really going on. And once you start dealing with yourself on an energetic level, this stuff will begin to disappear. So for you targeted individuals, listen up. This is what's going on. You're highly distorted, and it's showing up in your outside environment. And so you're blessed, because now you get to deal with it whether you like it or not. I mean, today there's things such as beam steering technology, microwave weapons, mind control, psychological manipulation. They use community stalking, gang stalking. They use all sorts of horrific things like V2K, voice-to-skull technology, all sorts of stuff. They get the whole community after you, even the cops, FBI, CIA, whatever it is. I don't know. It's just totally distorted. So we need to recognize this for what it truly is. It's really a blessing. And a targeted individual, human, therefore, must learn to be a warrior to survive it. And how do you be a warrior? There's not only to survive it, but how to thrive. This will teach you how to thrive in the face of anything. When you start dealing with the petty tyrant, you will be able to deal with any energetic situation, guaranteed, because it's just, you're going to be able to see your triggers and and what's causing you to react, action and reaction, what causes you to be on automatic. And once you get through this, you'll be able to gain power and actually gain insight into your own life, and you'll be able to steer your own ship again, instead of just being an automatic action reaction. Something happens and you react to it. Because petty tyrants, they're going to push your buttons. Simply put, you're going to get pissed. That's what they do. Now, to survive it, to deal with petty tyrants, we have we learn about the 5 attributes of a warriorship, and actually 6, and the 6th one is the petty tyrant. So there's 5 attributes of a warrior, and the 6th one is the petty tyrant. That's how important it is. Can't be a warrior without having a petty tyrant. So the 5 attributes of a warriorship are as follows: control, discipline, forbearance, timing, and will. And we'll discuss more about the will maybe in a different video, because that's going to take a video all on its own. These attributes deal with the warrior who is fighting to lose his self-importance or his self-pity. The 6th element, perhaps the most important element of this, is actually the petty tyrant. So the petty tyrant is a tormentor. Someone who holds the power of maybe life and death over you, or any type of power for that case, and who annoys the hell out of you until the point of distraction. So he grabs your attention. Somebody who can come in and grab your attention is a petty tyrant. Now, that can be anybody nowadays. But there are dangerous ones now too, which disappeared for a while, but now they're kind of back. So you have to be aware. It's a matter of awareness of what's going on. It's a battle for your attention. Remember that. This is a battle for energy, not anything else. There is nothing else. There's only energy. So it's a battle for your attention. This is actually really all you are, is attention. Your attention. Think about it. You're not the body. You're not really the soul. You're just whatever the attention is, whatever the awareness is. That's who you are. There are different classes of petty tyrants. There's like a teensy-weensy petty tyrant who just annoys you every day and causes you to lose your focus. But there are probably very dangerous petty tyrants nowadays, ones that will kill you. And today's a little bit different. They don't do it outright, right in the middle of public. They'll do it discreetly and cook you to death with a microwave weapon or something. It's horrible. It's horrific what they're doing nowadays. And really, the petty tyrants, I mean, we can call them narcissists. I like to call them, what they today calls them narcissists. That's what they are. Or psychopaths. And it's really a cognitive distortion. It's really not their fault. It's a cognitive distortion. It's a psychological term for a person or group living under a distorted paradigm or belief. So someone like this thinks they're entitled to special treatment. What do you think a narcissist is? They put their own agenda before anybody else's, and they'll do whatever it takes to get it fulfilled. So the classification gets worse as we go along. But you see, what really happened made them these people this way. It's like a defense for the what happens is it's like a defense for the child. Something happens and it rocks their world, and so they make a denial. So they deny. You see, that's what the narcissist will do. They'll deny everything. They just deny everything. Some forms of denial are dismissal, justification, minimization, negation, reversal. They'll blame it on you. Does that sound familiar? I mean, it sounds familiar to me. So they refuse to recognize any types of truth, especially in regards to their own behavior. So you can't really point the finger at a petty tyrant, because that's not going to work. So these narcissists can make your life a living hell, let me tell you. They will do anything to maintain some type of control over the situation, manipulate psychologically, any type of in any circumstance. It's like crazy. And some of these narcissists can become violent, and they could cause some physical harm. So it can be very dangerous. So, and then we come across like a full-blown psychopath, and these people would just as soon skin you alive as look at you. So they're very, very dangerous, and they are out there, definitely, especially ones who've been running this planet for some reason. How did the planet get run by a bunch of psychopaths? I don't get it. But anyway, count it as a blessing if you're dealing with them, and I think everybody is at this point, because it's going to cause you to wake up and see what's really going on. And you'll be able to see the distortions inside you. And if we can lose that self-importance, then we can start to be able to see. And what I mean by seeing is seeing energy and seeing the essence behind everything and how beautiful it really is. So stay tuned. If you look at it, all these things the petty tyrant's doing, these are all attributes of self-importance. And that's what we're actually fighting against. So I think that's kind of funny. So we're fighting against our own self-importance, but these attributes that we see inside the petty tyrants are attributes of self-importance. So we're fighting against ourselves. So look, that's just another way of saying it's a reflection of your own self. Because that's the biggest programming running out there is separation. Once we realize that there's no separation, and that everything is aligned, is in alignment. It's literally energetic fibers reaching out and touching other energetic fibers that are vibrating on the same frequency. And so what you're seeing then, and what you're experiencing, are frequencies and vibrations that are vibrating inside. I have to say inside of yourself, that's what you experience on the outside. It's as simple as that. We're just like a prism where the light comes in and it reflects out, and that's what we see. So, and that's literally been proven in science. There is nothing out there. There's no matter. It's just energy. So, check it out for yourself. But let's go back into the petty tyrant. We also have to look at these classifications with some humor, because we don't want to get too caught up in everything. So I think they're kind of funny. It's like I just laugh at them. Plus, I can see how I might have been a narcissist in some situations in my past. Oh, could that be? Not me. Oh no. Denial is not a river in Egypt. So anyway. It's not really their fault. It's not your fault either. It's just rather a psychological weapon that the inner child used to protect himself. So what we're really doing here is a bunch of shadow work, and this is where you're going to find your power. I can't tell you how powerful this is. This is where you're going to find extreme amounts of power, and all your abilities are going to come to the surface, because you're going to have to use them to be able to survive this. Because a petty tyrant is, like I'm telling you, if you're a targeted individual, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is really the most important element of the art of stalking, is recognizing that there is no separation. Everything outside is just a mirror, a reflection of what's going on inside. That's why we stalk it. we're stalking ourselves. We're stalking our own distortions, and we're stalking our self-importance and trying to eliminate it. So, I mean, think about it. A petty tyrant is obviously somebody who's going to push your buttons. They're going to push your psychological buttons. They're going to cause a trigger. They're going to trigger you for an emotional response. And so what happens when you do that? You no longer have any free will. You're not in charge of the ship. You're just living by stimulation response. And so what we want to do is really look into that. And what are all of these distortions? Really, it's just what we're dealing with is fear. Because if you look at it, any kind of emotional response like anger, frustration, even scared or sorrow, it's just a form of fear. So it's just fear. You only need to deal with 4 attributes of the warriorship to deal with the petty tyrant. And the 5th one, will, is what you use when you're up against the wall with the firing squad. So it's not because it doesn't deal with the first attention. It's something that's in the unknown, the second attention. So the will is part of the unknown. And that's why we're going to have to make a whole nother video about it, because it's something that's remarkable. And once a warrior finds his will, then he is the sorcerer. It's an amazingly powerful gift. I think the warrior that discovers the petty tyrant is a lucky one, because now he truly can get to the bottom of things. And if you don't have one, you must go out and find one. Then you must bait them, and you must piss them off, and then you'll be able to see actually what's going on inside of you. There's nothing else that can temper the spirit of a warrior as much as dealing with impossible people in positions of power. There's nothing else that can temper your spirit with that than that. Only under those conditions can the warrior acquire the sobriety and serenity to stand the pressure of the unknown. You're not going to be able to survive the unknown. It's not the other way around. You survive the unknown, and then you can survive a petty tyrant. No, that's backwards. You survive the petty tyrant, then you can survive the unknown. So it's literally your ticket to freedom, because the unknown is freedom. Because think about it, the known is, we're surrounded by the known. It's everywhere. It's everything you see. It's everything you do. However, the unknown is everything you don't do. So, what's that? You know what I mean? So, to survive, it's literally ascension. It's literally evolution. It's a matter of awareness, where you become aware of yourself, the totality of yourself, and then of oneself, and then it's literally a different way to die. You don't have to die. What you do is you ascend. You actually evolve. So, and that is the rule here. We're not here to make a bunch of money and get married and have a car and a house and shit like that. I don't know where these distortions came from. What we're here to do is evolve, and that is the rule. And so, if you're watching this, consider yourself lucky, because this is one of the powerfulest tools you can use. And I've been dealing with them for years and years and years. And boy, it has tempered my spirit, because I have had to actually take a look at myself hard. It's the matter, I mean, the difference here is, like a regular person's going to be a victim. They're going to be a victim of this stuff. Where a warrior recognizes that it's a battle for energy, and it tempers his spirit. He realizes that he's blessed because now he can see the lessons that he gets to learn to be able to face the unknown at the time of death. It's just because we're preparing for death. I don't know why everybody thinks they're not going to die. It's just the body is going to leave. This body is going to die. Maybe not your soul, maybe not your awareness could die as well if you don't do the work. So just keep that in mind. They wipe your awareness clean, you come back again, you not remember a damn thing. Or you can maintain your awareness if you do the work. Yeah, it's just a matter of awareness. The petty tyrant is the perfect ingredient for making a superb seer, one who can see energy. A seer is one who can see energy. The problem with self-importance is really a personal matter. So each and every warrior is going to be different. It's going to be different circumstances, different energetic exchange. So the training still remains the same for everyone, though. Even though each warrior has to adapt to each conditions, because all the conditions can be different, the training is still the same. Getting rid of your superfluous routines, erasing personal history, doing a complete recapitulation of your life. And gaining enough energy and discipline and impeccability to recognize the signs of intent or power. If you can get that, then that's the key. If you can recognize the signs of intent or power, and eliminate all your routines and your habits and your beliefs, and break out of that prison that we're stuck in, then you actually gain freedom. I hope you can see how this can work. It's an invaluable tool, the petty tyrant. And the only appropriate feeling that one should have for these petty tyrants and these gang stalkers and perpetrators and stuff, I know you want to hate them, but you should really just have extreme gratitude for these people. Thank you so much for coming along so you can show me my own distortions and help me eliminate my own self-importance. It's self-importance that keeps us stuck. That's the thing that keeps us. Think about it. When you get triggered, you get angry. But you wouldn't be getting angry unless you thought you were more important. Or you wouldn't be getting sad unless you had some kind of self-importance. And I'm telling you, self-importance is just it's just a disguise for self-pity. So we want to quit pitying ourselves. We want to love ourselves. This is the road, the path of the heart, where we get to love ourselves again. And this is why I like a targeted individual. They're truly blessed because they are surrounded completely by petty tyrants all the time, every day, all day long. From the moment they wake up and even while they sleep, they've got petty tyrants harassing them. Now, this is going to show you right in your face everything you need to know about your self-importance. Whether you're aware of what's going on or not is what makes you either a warrior or a victim. So, might as well become aware and become the warrior, because then you can live with this and deal with this powerfully, and someday you can break free from it. And I'm telling you, it's a relief to be able to break free from your self-importance. and actually see. And I'm telling you, everything else will respond to you as well. The plants say hi to me, the grass, the rocks, the crystals, the dogs, the cats. Everybody's talking to me now. It's amazing. And so nature becomes one of the greatest gifts you've ever seen. You remember, the battle is for energy. It's not for the ego. The battle is for energy. It's not for money. It's not for fame. It's not for power. It's for energy. Even though, and see, the thing is, the petty tyrant doesn't know this. They don't know that the battle is for energy. They think it's for something else. They're just unaware. So the perpetrators are invaluable allies in your own cause. So that's where I want to leave it. Is you should be really very, very grateful that you have something like this happening in your life, because now you get to deal with your own self-importance and eliminate it. And I'm telling you, you can live a life of power and be free. So that's where I want to go with that. I want to thank you for watching this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'll keep them coming. I'll try not to write it down as much as I can. Maybe talk from the heart, because I could do that, but it's just easier for me to write it down. I don't know. I'm a better writer than I am a talker, so I love to write. Maybe I'll write some books about this stuff, but I love you guys. Take care of the energetic frequencies right now. There's tons of solar flares happening, so it's getting pretty intense. And anyway, thanks for watching. Make it a great day.